I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian.
And we are the Paranormal Lovers. Ready?
Sure.
Ready.
Hello, paranormal dudes, dudettes, and dudays. Welcome back to another episode of The Paranormal Lovers.
Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another week, episode 69. Would you like to do a boyish giggle there, Ian? About episode 69.
Oh, okay.
A little teenage boy giggle there. We have a special episode for you guys this week. We are happy to have the co-host of Total Conundrum podcast, Traci and Jeremy, with us today. Hey guys.
Hey. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us today. We actually just recorded an episode with you guys on your podcast. So you guys go over to their feed, Total Conundrum, and check out that episode. Told us a cool little spooky story.
Yeah, it was cool.
It was fun.
It was really cool. And can I just say that I love Minnesotan accents? So y'all don't try and curb your accent at all. Let yourselves be yourself. I don't know if you listen to Wine and Crime.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, I listen to it too much, and I literally will start talking like them sometimes, and I'm just like, oh.
Well, we've got another podcast in common.
Yeah, they're amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah, we don't go as deep as they do on their podcast at times.
Especially not Lucy.
Oh my gosh, Lucy.
Yeah, Lucy is wild.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm like, how can you be a mom and just be so gruesome at the same time?
But yeah, it's funny because I hear you guys and I love the Southern accent. Absolutely love it. And actually, we tried to do a spoof on a Southern accent on one of our episodes as an intro because we were doing the
you know what, that was the first one that I listened to, and I was like, I was listening to the intro like and then it got to the episode and I was like, okay.
If you watch the video, we actually put cowboy hats and everything. We were trying to have some fun with it. Like I said, horrible accent, but you got to get away from the yeah betcha, don't you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, do you guys want to talk about your podcast for a minute and where people can find you real quick?
Sure. We are on all of the socials and on pretty much most of the streaming platforms. It's Total Conundrum. And we are a true crime, paranormal, and the unexplained. We kind of cover a little bit of it all. Can't handle true crime all the time, so we got to have that palate cleanser of the ghosties and the cryptids, and just to have a little fun with it.
Yeah, and you guys also like to do episodes that really highlight issues as well. I listened to one of your episodes with a woman that had been incarcerated, and she was fighting to get, people better provisions and stuff in jail. And I really appreciate that you guys take time to do episodes like that, because I think we really need to spotlight issues like that don't get talked about enough.
Well, and when I first encountered her on Instagram and we talked about collabing on an episode and stuff, I didn't realize that one of the biggest cases that she was promoting for was out of Minnesota. So that was like an added bonus. And I know she's reached out. Timothy McGruger was the man that was, he is fighting because he's innocent. And, he's put us on his email list and stuff. And eventually we may have him on the show as well. But it's kind of a touchy subject because you have to dig deep to find out, because there are people out there that claim they're innocent, but there are a lot of people that are incarcerated that are truly innocent. There's just a lack in law enforcement and people doing their due diligence with their jobs. Some of these cases that we cover, I'm like, how did these people why are you even in law enforcement if you just don't give a shit?
Yeah, it's very, very infuriating. I have a personal connection with that because I actually have a cousin that spent 8 years in prison for a crime that she did not commit. She was a child when it happened and she had no involvement in it whatsoever. She's out now. She's living a wonderful life. You know, she has a family and stuff, but it's so frustrating that they were just like, well, you were there, so you were a part of it. And they never really got to the like what really happened.
Wow.
And then 6 months before she was to get out of prison, she got a jailhouse tattoo and she got 6 more months added onto her sentence because she destroyed state property.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Destruction of state property because she got a jailhouse tattoo. And that was my first time going, they're humans, though.
Yeah, like how can you own humans?
Because once you're in the system, you're
jailhouse
property of the state.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's not okay. Yeah, it's not okay at all. So, yeah, like I said, that was one of the first episodes I listened to that you guys did. It was great. So, thank you for doing stuff like that, bringing light to issues.
Yes, definitely. Her podcast and website is Voiceless Behind Bars. And she does get out there and she does a lot of advocating. And she is very present on social media and does a wonderful job with it. So definitely go check her out as well.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys go check her out for sure. So each week, we do this little shtick where we like to ask each other what we loved about this week. One, obviously, because we're the lovers, but also kind of because, you know, I have mental health issues. So I have to remind myself that it hasn't always been bad. So with that being said, Traci, what did you love about this week?
Oofta, this was there's Minnesota for you.
Dig deep, sister. Sometimes I really got to dig deep for it. So anything,
man.
like even just seeing something like beautiful that just brought a smile to your face one day.
Well, we got to spend a lot of time with Jeremy's uncle this week. He did help us. We own our own business, you know, on top of doing the podcast. So when we're not working, we're doing the podcast thing. But we've been working a lot of long hours and he came along to help us. So I guess that was a good thing about the week. It was just a pretty chaotic week.
Yeah.
So hard to dig deep on that one.
Jeremy, what'd you love about your week?
Well, definitely ain't my uncle's company. I could have done without that.
I knew that was coming.
I guess my favorite thing is, you know, just taking a moment to curl up on the couch with the dogs and watch
just relaxing.
TV.
Yeah,
because
that's always nice.
Yeah, we don't get much time, so it's like, you know, you gotta enjoy those moments, you know.
Yeah,
for sure. What'd you love about this week, babe?
I love that you yanked Patty's first tooth. She lost her front tooth.
I did not love that because if you've never popped a tooth out of a child's mouth and felt that pop,
no,
I like gagged
for you.
You're supposed to use a door.
Yeah, door.
We tried that, but her tooth was too small to get anything tied around.
Yeah, it was teeny.
It's a tiny little tooth, and so I finally had some longer nails on, so I popped it under and I just popped that thing out.
But both of you guys started freaking out, and I'm like, okay, calm down.
Because I started gagging because like I have a bad gag reflex about stuff like that, so I start gagging, and she's like, "No, don't do it, don't do it." And I was like, I'm fine, it's fine. I just need to breathe.
The things you have to do as a mom.
Yeah,
for sure.
What'd you like about this week, baby?
I enjoyed going to soccer shots this week.
Yeah.
Our kid has a program that she goes to that is like, it's like a soccer class.
Mm-hmm.
So they're teaching her like the fundamentals and basics of playing soccer. And so I get to sit there for an hour and just like chit chat with the other parents. And I got to have like a really cool conversation with one of the other parents this week. So
that's cool.
And it's so nice to see my kid have friends.
That is awesome.
That's I'm like, yay, she's not going to be bullied like me. I'm so happy.
That's tough.
All right.
I had my son was bullied, and my youngest didn't enjoy school very much. Now that she's in college, she's thriving, but bullying is nothing to mess around with either. We did an episode, a really horrid episode on that as well.
Yeah, it's I got a lot of shit from like all sides growing up. So like when it comes to my kid, I'm very, very protective. And like anytime any other kid like says something mean to her, I'm like, what'd you say?
Mama bear.
I'm not a mama bear. I'm a mama llama. I'm real chill, but I will kick you in the face. Don't try me. All right. So this week we're going to do it a little different. Normally we each do an episode, but since I'm a bit of a history nerd, I'm going to give you guys a bit of the history of Asheville and Edwin Grove. And then Ian will cover one of the most well-known paranormal cases at the Grove Park Inn here in Asheville, North Carolina.
Very cool.
So long before the U.S. was a country, the indigenous Cherokee people called the land where the Swannanoa River and the French Broad River converge Untuk'i, meaning where they race in English.
Say that 10 times fast.
Right. I always have to be like, listen, I speak American English. I'm sorry. There was rumored to have been a town there in the 1600s, but archaeologists have stated that the ruins people are saying were there since the 1600s actually date back to 250 to 450 AD.
Wow.
So they've actually been there damn near 100, like 1500 years to 2000 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Once the American Revolution ended, the first land grants in and past the Appalachian Mountains were granted. And I hate that they call them land grants, like, sir, who gave you the right to grant this land to people?
Yep.
You didn't ask the indigenous people, but okay, go for it.
Right.
Colonel Samuel Davison and his family would be the first to move to the area and establish the outpost of Morristown in 1785. Bucumbe County was established in 1791, and it's actually pronounced Buncombe County.
Yeah.
Phonetically, it's Bucumbe County, so that's the way my brain works.
There's a lot of places in Minnesota that are like that too, that if I was to hold up cards for you to read off different town names, you have to live in the Midwest of these towns. Same with Wisconsin.
Honestly, it's like trying to pronounce like a Scottish, like a true Scottish Gaelic name, and you're just like, I'm just not going to try.
Right?
I'm not going to try. In my opinion, rightfully so, the Cherokee did not appreciate these people just moving into the area and claiming land that they had been using for literally thousands of years.
Right.
At this point. So for decades, until most of the tribes were forced onto the Trail of Tears, there were battles between the settlers and indigenous people. But by 1790, 1,000 non-native citizens were counted in the U.S. Census living in the area. In 1793, it was officially renamed in honor of the governor. Do you remember who the governor was in North Carolina in 1793, Bill?
I should. That was Black period, wasn't it?
Maybe. It was.
What was his name?
Asheville was named in honor of him. Samuel Ash.
Mm.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I know. I remember, like, I vaguely remember them teaching us that in school, but that was a long time ago.
Got pushed out of the memory bank. Replaced it.
Right. With its location in the Blue Ridge Mountains, Asheville was a great outpost for frontiersmen. Daniel Boone and Davy Crockett were both known to have stopped in the area during their travels.
Very cool.
By 1860, with the influx of farmers and loggers to the area, there was roughly 2,500 people living in Asheville. When the Civil War broke out a year later, many manufacturing companies moved into the area. For the most part, the town stayed neutral, selling weapons and supplies to both sides of the war. Valid. Got to make money.
Right.
But just a few days before Lily-livered General Lee surrendered, there was a small battle, more of a standoff really, named Battle of Asheville. Sounds lame. What flame? Nobody died.
I love the lily livered. I haven't heard that in a long time.
I know. I follow this guy on Instagram named Sun Michaud. He's Gullah Geechee, and he's a linguistics professor at Harvard. But he had posted something about Lily Liver General Lee, and I was like, I forgot that phrase.
I love
It's my
that.
favorite. So nobody died in this. Nobody was seriously injured. But a month later, federal troops came in and raided the town. They destroyed the armory and homes of Confederate sympathizers. None of that stopped Asheville from growing, though. The first railroad was built connecting Salisbury to Asheville in 1880 and rapidly increased the number of companies that moved to the area. And with trains and new jobs, people also started coming to the area. Thousands of people began making their way into the mountains, and damn it, they're still coming.
They are.
They won't stop. They're coming in waves, and it's sad.
It reminds me of that Progressive commercial. Have you seen that where this guy's talking with like Flo or whatever about this area that he found that's so beautiful and serene, and she's going to insure all of his stuff, and he's like, I just hope the other
Then
people
there's a
don't
line
figure
behind
it out. And there's a line of people waiting.
Right?
Yeah.
Somebody will always figure it out. We can't have nice things.
No.
While many came to live in the area and start a new life, many came for the fresh mountain air, either on vacation or for medical reasons. Because, back when consumption was
Yes.
a big issue, they were like, go get you some fresh mountain air. Didn't help, but okay.
No.
With the boom in tourism, luxury resorts started popping up all over the place. And I mean, unless George Vanderbilt was inviting you to stay at the Biltmore, you had to stay somewhere.
Yep.
Concerned by the rapid growth of the town into the surrounding wilderness, the Appalachian National Park Association was formed and began holding meetings in 1899.
Wow, I didn't know they were that old.
Mm-hmm. They were formed the same year you graduated high school. Yay.
Yay.
By the 1920s, Asheville had become the third largest city in the state. And as far as I know, it's still the third largest city in the state.
So it held true.
Yeah. And some people might argue that because, like, down towards Raleigh, there's like Durham, Chapel Hill, Greensboro. It's all the same damn thing to me. It's all Raleigh to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The census showed 2,800 people living in the area, and it was estimated that as many as 200,000 people were coming each year to visit.
Wow.
Now we have 10 million people coming to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park each year.
No way.
That's crazy.
10 million people a year. Yeah, which when we complain about the tourist, like, we're being honest.
Yeah. It's a beautiful place.
It is a beautiful place. So things went really well for the city for about a decade. It was the Roaring 20s, and all of the rich elite were coming to Asheville to play. Many of the buildings in downtown were built during this time, and it is an Art Deco snapshot of the past. Even with all the gentrification going on, they're doing their best to preserve those buildings. And we went on a ghost tour a few weeks ago, and they were talking about that. It's like somebody took a small piece of Manhattan and dropped it in the Appalachian Mountains.
Really?
Yeah, because all these people were coming from like New York City and stuff, and so they were building it. What area did he say? Like, we have a miniature Flatiron building that was literally designed after the Flatiron building in New York City. It's really, really cool. And they are doing a lot of work to restore these buildings to their natural glory, and they're bringing in businesses, but trying to keep it the way it is.
Well,
I guess.
That's one thing I love, that they're trying to keep these buildings, restored, and because there's just so much of our history and the past doesn't exist anymore.
It really is. And like, these buildings, I just had a brain fart. Sorry. That literally happens sometimes. I'll be right in the middle of a conversation and my brain just goes, nope.
Yep.
We're done. See you later.
It happens to the best of us.
Not doing that. Anyways.
That thought is gone.
Yeah. But in 1930, 8 local banks failed, and the city and her residents were left holding a $56 million bonded debt,
Whoa.
meaning that debt was going to be paid either by the citizens or the bank would sell off chunks of the city to cover the debt.
Wow.
It took from 1930 until 1980 for the debt to be paid.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not really surprised because, like, once shit went sideways, all the rich people were like, well, back to New York City we go.
Right.
Like, and they just left us, like, holding the bag.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. During this time, growth was drawn to a halt. Tourism still happened a bit, although not as heavy, and would continue once the Great Smoky Mountains National Park was formed in 1936. This brought jobs to the area as well as land payouts. Due to this debt, what once was a playground for the rich and powerful now became a haven for the starving artist. Due to everything going on, it became incredibly affordable place to live, at least for a little while. Now it's once more becoming a playground for, if not the rich, at least the upper middle class.
Yeah. Huge apartments.
Yeah, it's one of those where, like, you see the beautiful mountains and then there's condominiums.
Yeah.
You're just
Covering
like,
the view. Yeah.
yeah. But I do believe she will always keep her artist spirit no matter what they do to her, because you graffiti artists aren't going anywhere, are you, Bill?
No. Got to keep it weird.
Yeah. Now, some notable figures from the area, of course, include the Vanderbilts. They were once a farming family who made their name in the railroad industry. Biltmore still stands as the largest privately owned home in the country. Like I said, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park brings in over 10 million visitors each year. So you can imagine how many visit the quote unquote largest home in America.
Sure.
Author Thomas Wolfe was born in 1900 in Asheville and raised at his mother's boarding house that she named Dixieland. It still stands today as the Thomas Wolfe Memorial State Historic Site. Can they just call it the Thomas Wolfe Museum?
Right.
Why do they call it? That's
You
just
got to be complicated. I mean, nothing's easy.
They really do. A less well-known name, at least one that I had never heard before researching this episode, was Edwin Wiley Grove. He was wily. What many people probably will recognize is the hotel chain bearing his last name, the Omni Grove Park Inn.
Okay.
There's one in every state.
The Omnis.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There's an Omni Grove Park Inn in every state.
I've
Wow.
never heard that. Have you, Jeremy?
Mm-mm.
Interesting.
Well,
Pretty sure
Edwin,
Minnesota has one.
Maybe.
I don't know. Look, Google.
Oh,
Let's see if there's a Grove Park Inn in Minnesota.
Bet there is.
Google.
I do love Google. It has saved our marriage many, many times.
Ended many arguments, has it?
Yes,
Yep.
it really
Yep.
has. I mean, that's the thing about it, though. Like, if you have a literal computer in your pocket, so
Well, we've got
just use it.
computers in our pocket. We have an Alexa, and I didn't mute her, so I shouldn't say her name. We have one of those in every room.
Say no, you don't have a Grove Park, but it looks like you have a Omni Viking Lakes
Huh.
in Egan, Minnesota.
Yeah,
Egan.
Egan. You said it right.
I said it phonetically. I don't know how else to do it. All right. Edwin was born in Whiteville, Tennessee on December 27th, 1850 to James Henry Grove, a Confederate soldier, and Mary Jane Harris Grove. After completing school in 1874, Edwin moved to Paris, Tennessee, where he began to work at a pharmacy. Within a couple of years, he had been made partner, and in 1880, he bought out the 2 other partners and renamed the store Grove's Pharmacy. In 1875, Edwin married Mary Louise Moore, and they had 2 daughters together. Sadly, in 1883, Mary and one of their daughters passed away from malaria. This drove Edwin to create a cure. In 1885, Grove's tasteless chill tonic hit the market. Edwin had figured out how to dull the flavor of quinine, which was the treatment for malaria at the time. Some sources claim that by 1890, sales of Edwin's tonic had surpassed those of Coca-Cola.
What?
Wow.
Which that had Coke in it. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't believe that.
Right.
But okay.
It had the true Coke.
It was literally wine with cocaine in it. I don't know if I believe that. But yeah, I think it said, I looked it up, and it was like it had honey and lemon and like a couple of other things in it to help like curb the flavor of quinine, because I guess it tastes like ass. I've never had it. I don't know.
It
Right.
doesn't
But
sound like something I would run out and buy.
Like
no,
real bitter
definitely
or
not.
something.
For some reason, it makes me think that they use it for like horses now. Like it sounds like something they use for a horse, but I don't know.
Right.
In 1886, Edwin married Alice Gertrude Matheson, and they had 2 sons and a daughter together. In 1896, Grove's laxative bromo quinine hit the market. Listen to this shit, okay?
Literally?
Literally, yeah. This is an early cold medicine, like an early form of cold ease or Zicam. But instead of a high dose of zinc, this medicine contains quinine, bromide, which is a sedative, and a laxative. Now, I'm not a doctor, but maybe mixing a laxative with a sedative seems like testing fate a little bit, in my opinion. You gonna pass out and shit yourself?
Right.
Someone's shart in the bed.
Maybe,
I can't. Stop it.
maybe that's how
God.
the pens got started.
There you go.
Yeah.
I would say. Well, as they say on Morbid, it was the 1800s of it all, I guess. What really made these products successful was Edwin's advertising. And y'all should look this up. The poster pictured a pig with a baby head on it.
What?
And the caption, "It'll make your kids fat as a pig."
Yep. It's so strange.
I don't know. People went, yeah, let's get that for our kids.
What? It sounds like something you'd see down on Fremont Street on a weekend night.
It's like something you would see if you took the wrong mushrooms, I think. Like, that's a bad trip right there.
It reminds me of like those old timey posters of like snake oil
Oh boy.
advertisements.
Did you find it, Jeremy?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so weird.
I was picturing like a pig standing up, not on all
No.
fours.
That is creepy as hell.
Yep.
The 1800s out of it all, y'all.
I'm gonna have to copy that image.
Wow.
The boxes also contain Edwin's signature to show its authenticity and alleged quality. In 1891, Edwin was trying to expand his business westward, and he moved his company to St. Louis. The problem with this seemed to be the large factory district, because, they didn't have an EPA back then telling them not to belch out a ton of smoke into the sky.
Yeah.
So Edwin ended up with a case of the chronic hiccups.
Oh no.
That would be the worst.
That would drive me up
Be
the
torture.
damn wall. It would drive me up the wall.
There's nothing worse than having the hiccups. Jeremy is like a master of getting rid of them. I can hold my breath. Someone can scare me. I can do, drink something until you can't breathe. Doesn't work for me. But I had nose surgery one time. And I was at Christmas at my dad's girlfriend's house, and I had the hiccups so bad. One of her family members that I'd never met was like, "I have the perfect cure." And I was like, okay, nothing ever works for me. She's like, "I promise you this will work." So she's like, "I want you to take a sip of the Sprite and hold it in your mouth and then close your eyes." I'm like, okay. She comes behind me, grabs my nose, and starts shaking my head.
Oh no.
I had a
What?
deviated septum that they had straightened. That's what I had surgery on. But she grabbed my nose and started shaking my head. Blood starts gushing out of my
Oh
head.
God.
My dad's girlfriend is like frozen and like screaming, no.
Oh god.
Needless to say, I was the talk of Christmas for a few years after that.
I'm guessing it still didn't get rid of your hiccups, did it?
No.
You're just
Oh, man.
hiccuping blood out now. Like, ugh. Oh, that's
horrible.
terrible.
So
Yeah, I
hiccups
get
are-
painful hiccups. They're
Oh,
almost
yeah.
like a hiccup burp. I call
Me
them hiccup
too.
burps. And
Yep.
it hurts right there in your sternum, and I just can't.
Well, Jeremy and I both. We were just talking about this the other day. When you crack open a fresh pop and take a sip of it,
Mm-hmm.
both of us, we call it hickaburp. Hickama burp.
Yep. Yep. It's a fun one, but with much prodding from his doctor and his wife, Edwin was like, all right, I'll build a summer home in Asheville.
And that's supposed to cure hiccups?
I guess because it's fresh mountain air versus smoky
Oh.
factory district. So
Okay.
even though we're called the Smoky Mountains now, so
Yeah.
a lot of good it did him. Edwin also had many other projects in place. He bought up property in Atlanta, which is now Atkins Park, named after a family friend, and Grove Park.
Oh.
He also built a high school for his community back at home, the Edwin W. Grove Henry County High School.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. I'm
Yeah.
like, just no. But he would decide to make Asheville his final home. In 1905, he began developing homes in the Grove Park area of Asheville. In 1913, he built the Grove Park Inn with his son-in-law, Fred Seeley. Now, Seeley is also something of a local legend, as there is a castle that he built, which is obviously named Seeley Castle, where allegedly they used to perform satanic rituals and human sacrifices.
Wow.
Future episode.
As part of the elite and their, Illuminati bullshit.
I was just going to say anything to do with the Illuminati or
I
the
guess. I don't know. Well, some people believe that like the Vanderbilts and all those elite people would come to like Asheville and do their satanic stuff. They believe that Biltmore, like they had like a table with 26 chairs as their coven table. And I was like, well, technically it's supposed to be 13, but okay. I guess.
They just
I
want
don't
double the pleasure.
But it is a beautiful castle, and you can't actually go up and visit it anymore because it's privately owned again. But someday, maybe, if we ever get rich, we'll buy it.
There you go. Again, everybody support their Patreon. They got goals. They need a computer, then a castle. They're not asking for too much.
Listen, I don't even want the castle. I just want to live at the beach. So if y'all could do
go.
that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Edwin is also noted with having built the new Battery Park Hotel after he demolished the old one, where he would die in 1927. It now houses businesses on the first floor and senior living in apartments above that, which I thought was pretty cool. It's like low income senior housing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He also planned the building of the Grove Arcade, although it had only had a foundation when he passed away. It was completed in 1929 and was the first indoor mall to be placed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Wow.
Which we're a little proud of over here. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It is a really beautiful place. It's like, it's so cool in there in the summertime.
Yeah.
It's made out of concrete and it's just like a shopping mall that you can walk through, but it's a beautiful place. So I don't think there's anything else like it.
Yeah.
What's crazy nowadays is, I don't know about in your area, but in Minnesota, a lot of the malls are closing. And it's so sad because that was such a big part of like my teenage years and stuff,
Yeah,
we've got
for
the Mall
sure.
of America, which will probably never go away, but you go there and you get greeted by armed guards now. So what a pleasant experience.
That's fun. That would make me feel
Everybody's got
safe.
Amazon now. We don't need stores.
Yeah, but it was still fun to go. I mean, I even still like to go and just, bop from store to store.
Yeah, we still go to the mall. We have one that we go to they used to have a kiddie place, but they're remodeling it. But they have a jump thing where you can go like jump on the like trampolines
Like
that
a
are
bungee
like
cord.
attached to things, and it goes
Oh,
way up to the
fun.
ceiling.
Yeah, I guess you guys got young kids, but for us, I mean, I don't think we've been to a mall in probably 10 years.
It's been a while, but I miss the alluring scent of Cinnabon and
The overwhelming scent of all the perfume stores.
oh yeah, Hollister
Yep.
and stuff.
And you're
Oh, my
like-
kids wanted to go to Hollister when they were growing. I'm like, ugh, you go in there and you get a headache instantly.
Instantly. Like, I love Bath and Body Works, but I can't stay in there for long
Oh,
because it's foul.
yes.
Ours has a
Mhm.
Lego store.
That's
really
true.
like being in there.
We have a Lego store, and I think you can go in and get a pound of loose Legos for like $10.
They
Yeah.
have Legoland in the Mall of America, which is pretty cool.
Very
is-
expensive.
Very
I've always
expensive.
wanted to go to the Mall of America.
It's a one and done type thing.
Yeah, that would probably be my deal. Like,
Yeah.
all right, that was fun. Never
It's
again.
huge. I mean,
Yeah.
you are going to be doing a lot of miles because it's huge. And it used to be cool. Like back in the day when Jeremy and I were in our 20s, they had all the nightclubs and stuff upstairs.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. You'd go to Gators and Fat Tuesdays, and I can't remember what some of the other ones were. It was fun, but it just got to be so crime ridden that all the nightclubs and stuff shut down. They used to have Knuckleheads comedy, comedy place up there, and now it's just a place for hoodlums to hang out, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
It is.
So after Edwin passed away, he was laid to rest in his family plot at the Paris City Cemetery. I'm not sure if he was aware that his name would live on for so long, although most people have no idea who the hell he is. I honestly don't know many people around here that know who the man named, who he is.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I know the Grove Park Inn. Do you know the man that it's named after? Not a damn clue.
Nope.
But it is one of the most iconic snapshots for anyone who visits the city is when you come over this hill on Patton Avenue and this inn is just standing out majestically on the side of the mountain. It's beautiful.
Oh.
Now, I've never actually been inside. I've been up there many, many times doing Uber and Lyft back when I was desperate. But Ian actually went to prom there, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm going to turn it over to Ian, and he is going to cover some stuff about it and the most well-known paranormal case of the Grove Park Inn.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So in 1913, Edwin Grove put together a plan to build a hotel on Sunset Mountain in Asheville. His friend Fred Seeley jumped in to help out with the plans. After reviewing the plans drawn up by prominent architects, Grove did not find any to his liking. Seeley presented a sketch of the proposed hotel to Grove, and he not only accepted the plan, but put forth by Seeley, but also tasked him with the job of building the hotel.
Okay, now let's not forget that Fred Seeley is also Edwin Grove's son-in-law, so nepotism at work. Anybody?
Right.
Well, nepotism? No, I don't like any of your bids. I'm gonna pick this guy.
Right.
He gave me a doodle on a paper.
It was a bar napkin.
It was a bar napkin. It's not right.
Yeah, you gotta paint the picture right here.
400 men worked 10-hour shifts 6 days a week to build the hotel. With only the use of wagon mules, ropes, they brought in 10,000 pounds of granite boulders that were hauled from Sunset Mountain to build the hotel.
Those poor mules.
Yeah.
I can't. You can see like the outside of it is boulders and they're massive.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I can't imagine.
Seeley made a promise to Edwin that the Grove Park Inn would be open to the public 1 year after breaking ground. Just 3 days shy of 1 year, the Grove Park opened in July 12th, 1913. The Secretary of State at the time, William Jennings Bryan, delivered the keynote address to 400 of the most distinguished men of the South, gathered for the opening banquet. He had no idea how true his words would be when he said that the Grove Park Inn was built for the ages. The first time I saw the Grove Park Inn, I was 16 and headed to my junior prom. Yeah. I remember seeing just the entrance basically among the trees. I didn't really get to see the outside of it because the driveway, it just kind of goes through the woods.
Yeah, you don't really see the inn until you're actually pulling up into the driveway.
Yep.
It's like tucked in there really good.
So you
Granted-
said that it's called the Omni Grove Park Inn now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Granted, I was probably paying a little more attention to my date than I was the building.
At 16,
At
I
16.
can't picture why.
I can't imagine that a boy would be like that.
So I walked in, took the traditional prom picture. I remember it being really nice. The hallway we walked down had high ceilings, granite boulders, and fine woods all over the walls. Little did I know I was walking into one of the most haunted places in Asheville. Nothing unusual happened that night, besides my prom date getting drunk in my parents' Chevy Blazer. But
That's good.
little Ian knew how to throw down back then. I remember the mood being very light and probably had one of the more memorable nights of my life. We were the class of 99, so we partied like it was 1999. We got to dance in one of the two ballrooms. It was one of the nicest places I'd ever seen, and I remember being surprised that I didn't catch attention of a certain ghost, seeing as I was dressed in a top hat with a penguin tail tux on it.
Oh,
He was a pimp.
You went
So-
dressed to the nines.
I'll send you the picture.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was all timey dressed, or old timey dressed.
That's awesome.
So the Grove Park Inn is known for being haunted. One specific haunting stands out from the rest of them. The locals have affectionately named the ghost the Lady in Pink. That's your color ghost.
Yeah, there she is.
Yes.
She was like, "What are you talking about? There's no colored ghost."
There are various stories about who the Lady in Pink is. Also, stories about how she died. Some say she came to the inn to spend time with a married man. Upon finding out that their affair was coming to an end, the heartbroken lover threw herself from the balcony of her room.
Scandalous.
Another story is that she was a young lady that came to the inn for one of their many balls. One night, slipped and fell off the high balcony of one of the rooms. The name of the Lady in Pink remains unknown. No one knows whether her death was an accident, a suicide, or a murder. For the next 75 years, guests and staff members have told plenty of stories about the Pink Lady and her hauntings. The Lady in Pink has been seen. The Lady in Pink has been seen since her death sometime in the 1920s. The Lady in Pink seems to be a kind of kind-natured ghost. She is known to appear as pink mist or sometimes a full body apparition of a young lady in a pink ball gown.
A pink mist.
Yep. She likes to appear to children mostly and young people, which is why I was surprised that I didn't see her that night. The Lady in Pink has been seen at the bedside of children who have fallen ill at the inn. She's been seen at their bedside speaking softly to them and stroking their hands.
Oh,
Makes me wonder if she was pregnant when she died.
she just had kids or something.
Right. In one famous case, a doctor who had been staying with his family at the Grove Park Inn, when the doctor went to leave, he said that he had left a note for the staff on his way out. The note was for the lady in a pink ball gown that had played with his children.
Oh.
They had enjoyed playing with her during their stay at the inn. She's known to open doors for guests. How polite.
Very polite. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
The lady in pink is also known to have said she has a mischievous nature, which is known for... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, I guess if a door just mysteriously opened in front of me, I wouldn't be thinking them. I'd be running the other way. But
I would probably be like, all right, just don't hit me as I walk through, please. Thank you.
She's known for turning on and off lights, air conditioners, and other electrical devices.
Listen, once I set that air conditioner, if you touch it, I'm gonna stab you in the hand.
So she's more of a prankster, you know.
I'd be mad. I'd be like, sis,
Mama Llama's gonna be
I'd kick you in the face, the ghostly face.
One winter in the Grove Park was closed, and the employees noticed all the lights on the 6th floor had turned themselves on and then back off again. TVs have been seen turning on and off. Faucets in bathrooms seemingly have found running with no one around. After a New Year's Eve party at 4 a.m., 2 workers saw a woman in evening wear rush by their office. When they went out to talk to her, she seemed to have disappeared.
Yeah, I do that.
gone.
She's also known to rearrange objects in many of the rooms in the Grove Park. The lady in pink likes to flip guests' makeup items off the sink in their bathrooms.
She's like, you don't need this. You're beautiful just the way you are. Bloop.
You know how much I paid for that? You better not be breaking my makeup.
Right. Be like, ma'am, no, this is Sephora.
Now, this one my wife would really be angry at the ghost for. She is also known to wake guests while they are sleeping by tickling their feet.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
She said it for me. I didn't even have to. That was exactly what I was going to come. And she just said it for me. No,
it's very not
she's going to
nice.
get kicked in the face.
Jeremy,
No, I get violent when you tickle my feet. Like,
Yeah.
I get,
too.
I was like tortured as a child. I have trauma around tickling. I'm like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I can't sleep with my feet outside of the blanket. It doesn't happen. My feet have to be covered when I'm sleeping because nothing is going to be touching my feet. Jeremy can sleep with his feet out. And the whole time we were at the Roth house, I was talking about that haunted house that we went and
You slept with your feet out in a haunted house?
Jeremy did. I'm like, no. I like literally had my feet tucked under, like the blanket tucked under.
Socks. I'd have had my Crocs on.
I don't want nobody pulling the blankets off of me, and nobody's going to be going by and touching my feet while I'm sleeping.
Yeah, so imagine you're asleep and your feet are tucked in and someone's still tickling your damn feet.
No, that's not okay.
No, it's not.
So the lady in pink has been spotted in many rooms in the hotel, but she has mostly been spotted in room 545. Makes me wonder if Stephen King has ever visited the Grove Park.
He needs to.
Yeah.
Right. According to lore, room 545 was thought to be the room that had the balcony that the lady in pink had fallen from. Legend has it that the lady in pink has taken this room for her permanent residence. People have stayed in the room, and it is open for guests to stay in. People that have stayed there in the past reported feeling cold spots. Other guests that have stayed on the same room as the same floor as room 545 has reported feeling the same cold spots. Some have reported seeing a woman shrouded in pink mist in the hallway outside the room. When the Grove Park Inn was renovated in the 1950s, One of the construction workers said that he had started feeling quite uncomfortable when getting close to room 545. He started getting chills to the point where he decided to leave the floor and never return.
I love all these people that are like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yep.
I quit, I'm out.
So
Kind of makes me wonder if he got drained, like drained of energy.
Oh, sure.
Maybe.
Has
Or
Bagel Bites ever investigated this place?
Has who?
Bagel Bites?
No.
No.
I don't.
No.
Not that
I don't
know
think
of.
Bagel Bites has investigated anything up here that I know of.
Really?
I don't watch him, so I don't know. I can't.
I've watched him a bit.
His face, the way he talks, I'm like, just
what?
shut
You
up.
don't like that serious, deep.
I would have to like watch it on mute with subtitles on because I can't. Mm-mm. It's too damn dramatic.
Right. So instead, this construction worker sent crew members to finish the job.
He must have been a foreman.
Must have been.
He was like, I don't have to go back in there, so I'm not going to. Y'all have fun.
Some of the employees in the Grove Park Inn have refused to go into room 545. In the early 1990s, paranormal investigators were able to go in and investigate the Grove Park Inn. They were able to get enough evidence to prove that there really was a lady in pink that resided in the inn. In 2019, the Out and About podcast recorded live from the Palm Court atrium in the Grove Park.
Nice.
They had some issues with their equipment, which was working fine beforehand. They stayed in room 545, and while one of them was taking a shower, her makeup bag was thrown from the sink.
Bitch, stop with the makeup.
Right.
God.
And hello, I'm in the shower. Can we have some boundaries here?
Exactly. Boundaries.
So I found some Reddit posts also that's came from somebody named r/Asheville about the pink lady in the Grove Park Inn. And people had posted their experiences in the hotel. So I thought I'd read some. One person said they had seen the pink lady, even though they were kind of skeptical. They were in the room with the dress. I guess they have a dress kind of in a case.
Oh, so they have like a pink dress in a case?
Probably.
Trigger object.
And
well, no damn wonder there's a damn woman in pink floating around the place then.
Yeah.
They're like, gee, I wonder why we have a ghost. We have all these things they're attached to. I don't know what causes it.
Right. So while she was looking at this dress in like a case, she seen a reflection of the woman behind her.
No, fuck that. I can't. That creeps me the hell out, man.
So the reflection was in the case that the dress was enclosed in, and when she turned around
and there's nobody there
to talk to the woman, there was nobody there.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I've seen The Ring and I've seen Grudge. Nope.
That's what it makes me think of.
Mm-mm.
So we have a commercial location that we clean that is haunted. And one night I was vacuuming and I swore I heard Jeremy say something and I thought he walked up behind me. I turned around and he's not there. I bent down, turned the vacuum back on and stood up and started vacuuming, and all of a sudden I got a right in the back of my neck.
Mm-mm.
I froze,
Nope.
turned the vacuum off, went upstairs, and I was like, we need a break. Are you okay? And I'm like, I'll tell you outside. You don't talk about it in the building.
We don't talk about them where they can hear us.
Exactly.
We got to go outside. Nah, that blowing on the back of anything coming up behind me.
Yeah.
you're gonna get punched.
Yeah. Even if you're a spectre, I'll still punch through you.
I'm still gonna get the pink stuff on my hand. I don't care. I don't. It's something about the reflection though of like them being there,
Yeah, spooky.
and then them not being behind you.
Oh no. Well, and that's one thing that I'm glad, like the way we have our studio set up, we're up against our desks are like backed, or we got L-shaped desks and they're up against the wall. So nobody's coming in behind the door or coming up, sneaking up on me. Cause I'm telling you, if we're ever recording and something pops up in the background, I am gone.
If anything ever pops up in this window in the background, we're gonna have a lot of issues.
There's a podcast, Scary Tales and Serials, that have become pretty good friends with, and they were recording. It's two girlfriends, and they record remotely from each other. And the one girl, Tara, has the bedroom door that she records into her back, and her husband, while they were doing video recording, thought it'd be funny. He put a clown mask on and started creeping through the door.
Oh, no.
And Mara, the other one, was like, Tara, behind you.
Oh my God.
They knew what it was, but his scare tactic didn't work. But oh hell no, don't do that to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like divorce level offense right there for me. Like, I have a bad heart. Please don't make me die.
So one person said that they had seen wait a minute, lost my place.
Sorry, went on a tangent.
No, you're good. It happens.
So another user said that they worked there at the Grove Park and that the lady in pink would do nice things for them. She said that they would open elevators for them at night and even walk with them when it got late. They claim she is still wearing high heels. They said the lady in pink is a kind spirit and that the experience they had was genuine.
Someone needs to get her some flats.
You spend
high heel. You're no way.
Like, if you're gonna make me wear high heels in the afterlife, you better give me wings. Because I can't walk in them now. What are you talking about?
Torture
also,
devices.
I appreciate that she's like a girl's girl, and she's like, let me walk you to your car to make sure you're safe. Okay, we're gonna go together. Right. Girl squad. She's like, I got you.
Now, there was a lot of people on there that seemed to think that the legend was made up just to make money. But there are a lot of people on this post as well saying they have seen her, or their family member, or girlfriend, or boyfriend had seen her. They have also said that they have heard her. High heels walking down the hall, high-pitched laughter following them, all seeming to come from the same hallway. I think the lady in pink is an amazing story and would love to go do the podcast from the Grove Park.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Oh, definitely.
It's so expensive, though.
It's the first one I've heard that isn't like red, white, black. You know, I like that she's pink.
She's pink.
What do you guys think of the lady in pink?
I think it's a great story. I mean, there's a lot of similarity in other, there's always that tragedy that befalls and
every time, and it's always a woman. Like, why are we the ones throwing ourselves off of balconies and throwing ourselves into bodies of water? And
yeah,
what?
I already tried to book room 545.
How much is it?
$240 a night. But they don't let you specify a room on the website.
Yeah, you probably have to like call and be like, I want this room.
Want this room.
I want this room. They're going to be like, look, sir, this is booked out for about a decade. So
right.
Get in
well,
line.
Have a cancellation. Get on the line.
Yeah, exactly.
They do have some nice suites on there, though.
Do they?
Really? It's
yeah.
Like I said, I've never been in it, but I used to go up there a lot, dropping people off, and it's stunning. Like it really is, and the view from the back, like
I seen a picture of the back where they got the little, I don't know, garden or whatever it is, greenhouse type thing.
Is it another one?
Yeah, that's the palm court.
Yes.
Yeah. For sure. Put it on that bucket list. It's
Oh yeah.
There's
Next
also a
one-
spa. So
Yeah, their spa is real
there's
nice.
the Grove Park Spa. So
Our next
can
one
do
is
that.
going to be the Palmer House, and then we just added the St. James. Both of those are in Minnesota, so that'll be easy.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just we're starting to tick off that bucket list. There is a ranch that is near Skinwalker Ranch. I can't remember what the name of
The
is.
Frog Ranch or
I
whatever.
don't think it's the frog one. It's a different one. It's
Spawn or something. Or
I don't know. We have it on the board. I can't. You can like rent ATVs there, or they have ATVs when you stay there that can get you over close to Skinwalker Ranch and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So that's another one that's on our bucket list. It just keeps growing. We're just gonna.
Yeah.
We need all the support of all the peeps to be able to let us bring content from all over.
Right.
Definitely.
Like we need support, people.
Right.
All these podcasts. Now I think it's funny that people said that they don't believe that like it's real because people don't realize that the Appalachian Mountains has so much quartz in it.
Oh, totally.
Like we're full of quartz. I have huge chunks of quartz that we dug up like when we built our daughter's playhouse at our old house. Just huge chunks that you found in the dirt.
Right.
And it's like that holds a lot of energy.
Oh, definitely.
So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I totally believe that there's something there, whether the story is correct or not.
Right.
But when you have a place that stood that long and has had that many people in and out of it, you know, there's going to be, you know, things that whether it's residual or not, you're definitely going to have activity. I mean, energy needs to go somewhere. It doesn't disappear. So,
and from what I gather, Grove was kind of a dick because when him and Seeley were making plans to build this place, they were kind of starting to tout Asheville as like a sanctuary for tuberculosis patients. And he told them, he was like, if you advertise Asheville as a sanctuary for tuberculosis patients, I will not build my resort here.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, we can't let the money man run away with his money. So I'm like, Grove, you're a dick. Like, why you gotta be a butthole about that? Now, if you guys ever make it over here, we'd love to hang out with y'all and show y'all some of our favorite spots. And
for sure,
definitely, we've been as soon as we can free up some more time, we definitely want to do some more traveling, and especially, you know, you guys aren't that far from Tennessee either, and that's one spot that I know I would love to go and see my mother-in-law for a visit.
Have fun, baby. I'll meet you in Orange Beach.
I mean, listen, mine lives in the backyard.
Yep.
So you get used to it. I love them. They're currently watching our child, so we could do this. So
that's awesome.
It's great.
But yeah, we'll definitely have to venture that way. And if you guys ever get to Minnesota, I mean, not that anybody wants to come to Minnesota.
We do.
We actually do. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if I could just like stand in a park and just listen to people talk, that'd be my whole vacation right there.
That's how I feel about the South. I go, when we went on that extended road trip back home, I laughed so hard because every place we went, every state had a different dialect and a different term of endearment.
Honestly, you can go from one end of the state to another. Like, I have family that lives on the eastern side of the state, and our accents are different. We have a country accent. I call them, they have a ghetto country accent. Like they have a thicker country accent and they say words just a little bit different, but we still kind of have the same country accent. So even 8 hours across the state.
If you want the true kind of like Wine and Crime does, that really thick Minnesota accent, you're either going to have to go
Fargo.
Yeah, Fargo is definitely
don't tempt me.
Wisconsin,
it
actually has a thicker accent than people in Minnesota do.
Be sure to come up in January so you get the true experience.
Oh yeah, when it hurts your face.
I actually had a friend in middle school. We spent a whole summer together. She was from Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah,
and after the summer, like we literally spent all 8 weeks, we were either at her house or my house, always together. I sounded more like I was from Wisconsin than she did. I call it my ADHD superpower. If I spend about 2 weeks with somebody, I can mimic their accent almost perfectly.
Yeah.
So I just love it. It's fun. Accents are fun.
They are.
All right. Tell our paranormal lovers where they can find you guys at and where they can support your podcast.
We are on all the socials, and I think we're on most of the streaming platforms, and it's Total Conundrum. Most of the socials is total_conundrum, and our website is totalconundrum.com.
Yep, and you guys I love your little brain logo. He's adorable. He, she,
Great.
it, they. I don't know. It's adorable.
We love it. It was Jeremy had the total vision for it, and I fell in love with it. It's perfect for us.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us, and we appreciate all of our fans joining us. And if you would like, head on over to Instagram to give us a follow at the Paranormal Lovers. You can also search for us on YouTube at the Paranormal Lovers to see all of our beautiful faces. Yay. Listen, it's almost 9:00 at night, and I'm getting a little weird. Send us an email at theparanormallovers@yahoo.com. And if you would like, head on over to our merch store at the Paranormal Lovers at threadless.threadless.com to get in on our merch. And if you would like to support the podcast and get our Deadly Lover, our true crime show, head on over to patreon.com/the Paranormal Lovers. I think that was
all memorized.
For the most part, yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. I try and get it all out. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us, and we appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you guys next week.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.